Welcome to the show. It's a daytime vibe, DC purple, let the positivity drive. Catching up on the highlights, what's new, what's real, flowing through the moments, that's our ideal. Grab your drink, let's unwind. In this space, good time find. Daytime pop-up, we're loud and we're free. With DCT, the purple diva, cop with me, catching all the good. In this vibrant space, join the fun, come on now, let's embrace. Stories from our lives and the world around. Pop up, chat, hear the joy, feel the sound. From laughter to lessons, all wrapped in a beat. Tune in, stay close, let's vibe on this street. See the love, feel the flow. With every second, watch us glow. Daytime pop-up, we're loud and we're free. With DCT's a purple diva, pop with me, catching all the good. In this vibrant space, join the fun, come on now, let's embrace. Together we rise, thanks for coming by. In this daytime pop-up, we reach for the stars.
Hola. From the west side. From the west side. Hola. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody's out there having a good week. I'm sorry I'm a little late, but I was actually in the middle of uploading a short. Another person has gone, has left this dimension. For those of you who, remember the sitcom of the late 70s, one of the stars of What's Happening, actually the youngest star of What's Happening, has gone on to glory. And that is my soror, Dr. Danielle Spencer, who played Steve Thomas on the series What's Happening. She was only 54 years old, y'all. She was only 54. So rest in power. Rest in power, Danielle. Sorrow. Doctor. I gotta adjust my microphone. Yo, let me hear something for a minute. Give me a second. Y'all like my banner? I made this. This is some of my digital art, and as y'all know, I'm a writer, and I typically have my hair in purple braids most of the time. What y'all don't know is my hair is purple up under those braids. It's purple up under those braids. So I've been out here busy, putting out content and watching the nonsense that is Black YouTube as well. And I mean, let's include all of Black YouTube. We're not just talking about the Black sector or the Manosphere or the beef sector or Mo3 or the Black tea sector or the Black church sector. Let's just say it's all a mess. It's all a mess. And shouts out to everyone who's on my other channel because I am simulcasting this on both DC the Purple Diva and over on the Purple Diva Den. So I hope y'all liked that poetry that I put out. I believe it was yesterday over on the Purple Diva Den. If you haven't checked it out, please go check it out. It's in my shorts. It's called It's Been a While. So check it out. Make sure y'all give it a like. And speaking of likes, make sure y'all give this live a like as well. Whichever like whichever live you're in. If you're over on the Purple Diva Den, please give it a like over there. If you are over here on DC the Purple Diva, please give it a like over there. Hey. So let's see. Mixed Swaggers. Hey DOD. Oh good, you're in this chat. So let me grab you, DOD. Trying to make you a mod. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, there we go. I think I can do it. I'm trying to. I don't know. Maybe I'm. Maybe I'm on the. I should be able to do it on here though. That's weird. Okay, there. Okay, now it's letting me. Okay. Okay, you're good now. Hey, Mixed Swagger. So you're saying mark social media sites by toxicity. Are you spamming my chat, Mixed Swagger? Are you spamming my chat? As I don't have a moderator over there in the chat on let me fix that. I'll go into talk from a different from a different. Sorry, y'all, because I guess I got to monitor both my chats. Give me 1 second, y'all. But anyway, so yeah, there's been a whole bunch of messy ass ish going on in the various sectors. One thing that's happened that should surprise no one is that Dr. Umar is once again showing to be the scammer that he always is. Okay, I get you. I get what you're saying. Let me turn down the I don't have background noise. Okay, now I'm in both chats. I can, yeah, because I can see both chats on here. So yeah, so now Dr. Umar is out here telling us that there was fraudulent activities. I see what you're saying, Mitch. I do. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure on his bank account while he's over there in in the motherland. Out here talking about he can't get to none of his bank accounts. Why are people still giving Dr. Umar money for these fake ass schools? Why are people still giving this man money? What is wrong with you people? Y'all think because this man has a PhD, and I question, just because he has a PhD, that doesn't mean that he's there. But he's out here. So apparently, the bank has locked up all his money, and he can't get to his account. Now that's not what happens when there's fraudulent um, activity on your account. I know, because what normally happens is the bank shuts your account down. They lock down access to it, and you have to call them. Usually, you have to visit a branch for them to clear the situation up. I don't know. At least that's what has happened to me every time it's happened with my account. You are not locked out of your account unless perhaps the government or the state, the federal government or the state or somebody has frozen your assets because of something you did. I'm just saying, what he said is a bunch of BS. And see, the thing is that he's been a scammer for years, y'all. I mean, how long has he been promising this school? 10 years? 10 years? You know, I'm it probably that almost as long as I've been on YouTube. I've been on YouTube since what, 2011. He's been promising this school at least since 2015. That's 10 years. At least since 2015. And we have yet to see a school. He keeps, quote unquote, buying these properties and then begging for money, getting money, and then we never see an effing school open. And y'all can give that man y'all money if you want. You can be foolish if you want. But you're just putting money in the trash if you're giving it to him. You might as well set it on fire. I'm not saying that there are not people out there who are legitimately trying to start, schools for our kids. LeBron James did. A couple of other black athletes have, or black activists have, but they also had money and their project came to fruition. This Regent ain't got no money. He keeps scamming y'all out of y'all's money. But I can't tell you what to do with your money. I'm just saying be wise because it looks like he's spending your money on his damn self. You know, because how does he have money to go vacation over in Africa and he doesn't have money to finish getting his school together? Explain this to me. You know, and isn't this like wasn't he over there before? It shouldn't DOD. It should not take 10 years plus to build a school. He on some BS. It shouldn't take that long. But what do I know? You know, I don't run a school, but I know people who do run schools, and none of them did it take 10 years to put a school in place. Especially when you supposedly have a freaking PhD. What the F? Make this make sense. And isn't his PhD supposed to be in education? Anyways, let me shut up. So that wouldn't even be a PhD. That would be a doctorate of education, actually. So does he have a ED, which is a doctorate of education, or does he have a PhD? Exactly, Mick. He's been finished. He's been almost finished for 5 freaking years. And I think he's even switched freaking locations in the last 5 years. I'm just over him. And the lies. The lies. Because wasn't the first location was like some building down in the Carolinas that he ended up losing. Then he supposedly has like 4 or 5 buildings because that's the latest iteration of this. That's the latest iteration of this. Dude has these people just sending him money. Foolish, foolish, foolish folks. And I'm not saying foolish in, you know, book sense, because most of them are educated. Unfortunately, these are educated folks who are sending him this damn money. Anywho, moving right along. We don't need to spend too much time on Umar because Umar's not going to change. Umar is going to do exactly what the F Umar does, which is continue to scam the folks, continue to put all this bull crap out. You're right, Mick. He could have started a virtual school in all of this time. He could have been doing school online. Everybody could be at their house. Speaking of online school, speaking of online school, currently in the state of California, the percentage of students who are going to be going to school online this next school year has increased significantly. I wonder why. I wonder why that's happened. Could it be the raids on the schools to take the parents of children who are citizens of this country because they were born here, because y'all made that the interpretation of the birthright citizenship um portion of the 14th Amendment, even though it originally um was about FBAs, financial foundational Black Americans, those who of us who are the descendants of slaves, people like me whose grandmother who was born on a plantation. It was for our freedom, even though we didn't get the real rights to vote until the year after I was born in 1964 with the Voting Rights Act. But shut up. Anyway, but yeah, so it has increased here in California because people are afraid. And I, I've I have I know I have probably mixed views in regards to the immigration situation. My view is that if you believe that these people are in this country illegally, then okay, I guess they should be deported because they are breaking the law. But and however, at least show some humanity in it. At least show some humanity in it. Because here's the thing. Joe Biden doing his 4 years, even though it looks like Trump has done a lot, he put more people out of this country. Obama put more people out of this country. But the way that they did it was more humane. And I think that's what a lot of people have an issue with, including his MAGA friends who are really suffering because of this big, beautiful bill. But wait till they get a hold of Project Esther. Because they're trying to implement Project Esther right now, which is part of Project 2025. I'm going to be putting out a video on Project Esther shortly. And just remember, it's called Esther. And in Esther, they're talking of, they're making that biblical, name. They're naming it after Esther in the Bible. They're naming it after Esther in the Bible. Mhm. So I'm going to be putting some stuff out in regards to that. Now, what I did put out a couple of days ago, and it got a couple of views, but I'm gonna promote it now. I'm promoting it on both of my channels. For those who are looking at this on the Purple Diva Den, this video that I'm referring to is over on DC the Purple Diva, and it is a coffee talk, and it's about why African and Caribbean immigrants are upset with FBAs and why we don't seem to care about their plight in the immigration crisis. And I would invite y'all to go take a gander at that. And by all means, leave me some comments down in the comment section because I really like to see that. I wonder how that boycott this month is going, because, August is the month that we're quote unquote supposed to be boycotting African businesses, specifically the African braid shop. I wonder how that's going. All you girls out there who normally go to the African braiders, are y'all braiding your own hair, or did y'all go find some Americans to braid your hair? I'm asking because I've never had someone who was African braid my hair ever. Like, that never was my thing. Yeah, I think everybody wants us to fight for them, and we're not doing it. We're not doing it. We're not going to be in any protest which calls for us to do any effing marching. I'm gonna march to my living room, to my kitchen, fix me some food, sit on my computer, look at social media, scroll through my phone. I'm gonna be stacking my money. I'm gonna be resting and reflecting. I'm gonna be preparing myself for all the BS that's going on. But I will not be out in the streets doing any effing protesting because even though part of my family is from Cuba and therefore I am considered Afro Cuban, I am negra primero. Comprende? Negro primero. Means I am black first. Black because I was born in this country and my parents were born in this country and I have a grandparent that was born on an effing plantation. That's enough to prove that I am a descendant of slaves. Clearly. It doesn't matter whatever else is in my DNA. My grandmother was born on an effing farm that was a plantation. It's called the Sunshine Plantation in Louisiana. In Sunshine, Louisiana. It doesn't exist anymore. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. But there's a lot of plantations that still exist in Louisiana. Yeah. And, Louisiana, along with California, have the largest, you know, privatization of, you know, slave labor. Because, in both of those states, the majority of those who are behind bars in the prison look like me. hmm I guess it's a good thing that Kamala Harris said she's not running for governor in California. Um, yeah. Even though that stuff was lies in regards to how many people, how many men of color were actually, you know, done by her personally, it happened on her watch. And that's the point. It happened on her watch. Okay? Happened on her watch. She doesn't have to be the one who did it personally. But and however, we don't know who the hell is going to be running for governor in California because the lieutenant governor, who's also a woman, says she's not running for governor either. Well, folks, we need somebody to run for governor in California because, Newsom can't be governor again. It's not term limits, but, it's consecutive terms. He can't be governor again right now. And I think he fancies himself running for president. God help us. Even though at least he's younger than all these old men that we keep getting for president since Obama. Obama was the last young president we had. Before him, George W. Yeah, he was younger. He was in his 50s too. You know, Obama went into the White House. He was still in his 40s though. Clinton was in his 40s. But now we're our presidents are in their 70s. What is wrong with us? That man was up on top of the White House yelling down to reporters last week. And now he is trying to bring in federal police into my hometown of Washington, D.C. And even though, even though technically, because it is our nation's capital, it is a federal city, it has its own police department. We don't need National Guard and all this other stuff in there. And I'm sorry, the crime in DC is nowhere near what it was when I was growing up there. When I was growing up in DC, it was called the murder capital of the country. Okay, that was back in the 70s and into the 80s. When the smack era came. Hmm. Yeah. So nothing about DC is anywhere like that. You know why? Because DC has been gentrified. Although DC is still has a over a 50% black population, it's not as high a population of black people as it was before. And the crime level is not what it was before. They ran the the red light district all the way from you know down within blocks of the White House to way up to DuPont Circle. And if you're not from DC, you don't know what I'm talking about. But basically, the red light district started in downtown DC. Okay, it's now in upper northwest of DC, which is going towards Maryland, Montgomery County, Maryland. Okay, Silver Spring. So, yeah, that's interesting. And but where the quote unquote crime ridden areas, the pop color people don't live in those areas. And the areas, some of the areas that were bad before, they're not like that anymore. But okay, he's making excuses because this is all about him being able to bring martial law across this effing country. He wants to start with the nation's capital. Now, you see, he tried to do that ish when they were out here with the ICE agents and everything here in California. That's the reason why us black people stayed our asses home. We were not going to allow that ish to happen. Okay? We knew if we came out there, it was going to become crazy. So we weren't coming, and we're still not coming. So if you look at the protests, even in DC, a predominantly black city, you will notice that the majority of the people who are out there don't look like us. Now, you do have a couple of black folk up in there who are agreeing with him, but they're wearing red hats. There's some black men wearing red hats. So do I need to say anything else? Yeah. Hmm. So we're not paying attention to nothing that they're saying. Any black person who's agreeing with Trump on anything other than the fact that he needs that Washington's team needs to change their name back to the Redskins. That's the only thing I'm agreeing with him on. Okay. That's the only thing I'm agreeing with him on. I know I'm over here being silly. I'm just saying. But yeah, you know, we need to we need to watch what's going on. Don't let this man keep distracting you. Everything he's doing is because they do not want to show us those freaking files. And even his MAGA constituents want to see the damn files. We all want to see those files. We know you're in them. We know there's a lot of people in them. We don't care. I'm like, you know, You know, it is what it is, sir. The truth hurts sometimes. Mhm. I mean, you you kept that stuff from coming out. I personally don't understand why. Because didn't we have those effing files before this man became president? Didn't we have them before? I think we had them before. I'm sure we had them before. I'm sure. I am. I'm gonna, no, no, I'm at work. Yeah. So why didn't Biden put those files out? Is my question. And anyone who thinks that Jeffrey Epstein took himself out of here, I have a bridge in New York that I'd like to sell you. I have a bridge in New York that I would like to sell you. I've seen creepy pictures of this president with a certain it, person that's part of his folks now when they were a teenager. When he surely wasn't a Republican. Y'all remember when Trump used to be a Democrat? Y'all remember when he used to be a Democrat? Scary, isn't it? Scary. Now, I don't belong to either one of those freaking parties because neither one of those parties serve my interest as a foundational Black American. Neither one. Neither one. I am a goddamn independent when it comes to my political affiliations. Yeah. And then when it comes to, you know, the major elections, then I decide which way I'm going to vote. You know, I wish we had more of a selection than the Democratic and the Republican Party. I wish we did. It makes absolutely no sense. And I know y'all hear a little bit of a. I know y'all hear something in the background. That's because one of the one of the channels is playing on another one of my things, and I'm not able to. You know, I can't turn it all the way down. 'Cause if I turn it all the way down, then it doesn't count. You know, it doesn't count that I'm actually in the other live. Yeah, talking about watch hours. I'm slowly trying to see if I can get them get those hours over there on my other channel. We'll see what happens. I don't. I've never linked that channel to this one. I got to figure out how to do that. But I do like the fact that I got my own damn music for my lives, and I created my own music for one of my vlogs for the Artsy Autism Mom one. So I have that one has its own music. I like the music that I have on the Coffee Talk, so I just left it on there. And for right now, I'm leaving the music that I have on the Daily Thoughts. But you know, I went and created some music out on the AI app and paid for it and paid so that I'm the only one who can use that music. Yeah, because if you don't pay to use that music, even if you created it, you will get a freaking strike over here on YouTube. the little AI app, Donna AI is the one that I use, will come over to YouTube or to TikTok or wherever you're using that music and strike you if you didn't pay to use the music. It's like 16 bucks, y'all. It's $16 to use it into perpetuity forever. So, it's not worth getting your channel struck. It really is. But let's see, I've talked about Donald Trump, Project Esther. I've talked about Umar. Now I'm just going to talk about real quickly about this little nonsense that's going on over in the beef sector because, yeah, that's that's where I am. So apparently, Just Krista has left um, Lemon, who is part of the beef sector 2.0. Krista is an OG. She's from the original beef sector, and she was hanging out as friends in quotation with Lemon, who is from the beef sector 2.0. And he actually came out of Avatar Nation, which is the Avatar part. So anyway, they've been going back and forth, but now she left again. Um, it's just crazy. I did a video about this little, you know, how May December look and how we beat up on women when the woman is the older one versus the man being the older one. And from what we can see, look, I don't know dudes' sexual preference, and guess what? I don't care. But when he's talking to females, he appears to like women of a particular age that's older than his age. So it is what it is. And I don't think as much of her chasing him down as it being something new. But we'll see. We shall see. So now they're broken up, and now she's talking again to that dude Duke Barrow. I think he's from the Most Three sector. I don't know. He's from some other part of Black YouTube. You know, I mainly know people who are in the black or the beef sector because those are the two parts of Black YouTube that merged and purged first. When the world shut down, our two sectors got thrust together. Now, currently, you have people that float in and out of these two worlds. But then lately, later on, you had this Mo three, and they've been kind of coming over there. You had some of the Umar boys going over, and they seem to all be going over to, I don't know, dismantle the B sector, change it. I don't know, because I don't. YouTube is not my main source of income. It could never be. But people have been getting their channels struck over there, and you know, the OGs not coming out to play too much. And when they're coming out to play, they just trying to figure out why y'all are allowing these folks to destroy your little part of YouTube. I don't know. feels like when you had the changing over in the manosphere. Remember when you had manosphere and then it became manosphere 2.0, and then some of the OGs that were over there jumped out, like Angry Man and DS1, they all jumped out, and now, they're just doing their stuff, and they not even dealing with, yeah. So kind of feels like what happened over there. That happened like a couple of years ago, and I don't know. I mean, I guess roasting folks, in my opinion, because I'm first of all, I'm not on here to roast folks. I'm on here to educate, or to give my opinion, or to share portions of my life, whatever it is I want to share, because it is YouTube. Um, but so I, I I don't get the roasting because y'all don't know how to keep that ish online. Y'all take it offline. Y'all always cross the effing line with it. So yeah, there's that. I mean, you know what I see, what I see. Yeah. So, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how long this time of just Krista going off from him lasts. Oh, and it was called what? And was called what was he called? Let me see what you said. Oh wow. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I see him trying to do his little thing. He be over on TikTok too, dropping stuff, and I guess he cuts up his videos from YouTube and then drops clips over on TikTok. He just has you know weird theology or whatever you want to call it, beliefs. I ain't with it. You know, he's on some BS. You know, and then DS1 has he's doing something else. I have no idea what what's his name is doing. Steve Darrell. I see him every once in a while when I'm somewhere, when I'm around. 'Cause I usually be in the cloud. I drop down in a couple of people's chats, but a lot of people don't go live anymore. They just drop in video. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, I'm trying to get myself back into doing lives, you know, making that a regular part of my stuff. And y'all know if it wasn't daytime and I wasn't at work, I would be on camera because I don't have a problem with showing my face. But I know there's a whole bunch of folk on here that don't like to show themselves on camera. You know, all we get to see is a friggin' avatar. Like they never come on camera. And it's fine. You don't have to show your live. You know, those of us who come on camera, we show you what we want to show you. I'm not giving you a tour of my house. Um, I, you know, I barely show my car. You know, I just the members knew I got another car a few months ago, but I just revealed to the regular world, you know, that I'm driving around in a BMW. I ain't show you my plates, even though currently they're not personalized. That's just because I haven't switched the plates off the old car because I haven't gotten rid of it yet. But once I get rid of that car, we're gonna have the personalized plates on it, which I really won't be showing because they have part of them is DC. DC is part of them. You know. But anyway, I will be back, you guys. I don't know if I'm gonna be back on tonight. I'm working on some more material, more content. Um, I hope to drop another spoken word this week over on the Purple Diva Den. So look for that. Um, Whenever I come live on here, I'm going to be live on there, at least for the foreseeable future. But anywho, I will be in these YouTube streets. If I don't come back live today, I will be back live probably tomorrow. But until then, please, if you are watching this on Rewind, please make sure you give me a like, share out my channel. Y'all, I am trying to get 3K. I think I'm within 30 subscribers of getting to 3K. Can you help a sister out? Hey, TC. Can you help a sister out? Can y'all help me find 30 more people so I can be at least 3K by the end of this month? I just need 30 more people to subscribe. So I promise you will not be disappointed. That's on the Purple Dividend. I also need people to subscribe over um on DC the Purple Diva. That's on DC the Purple Diva. I'm almost at 3K. I also need y'all to be on the Purple Diva Den because I only have 107 subscribers over there. I'm a long way from 1,000. But I will be, you know, I do come out on that channel occasionally and I drop in people's lives from that channel occasionally. But I guess, I'm going to have to do some more stuff to grow that channel. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Let me change my music to the other one. Oh, you want me to drop the link? Let's see. I'm going to drop the link to both of us. This is the link to this channel. And now I'm going to drop the link to my other channel. So that if someone comes through and is watching, hold on. And this is the link to my other channel, the Purple Diva Den, where you will find a lot of spoken word. So I'm going to get out of here. Let me just change my music. Hold on, y'all. I will see y'all later. Until then, I offer y'all peace and blessings from the West Side. I'm out, y'all. Peace. Bye, y'all.
Flowing through the moments, that's our ideal. Grab your drink, let's unwind.